Hi, this is Valerie with Library Market, and this is a tour of the new Rock Island Public Library website. I want to start off by pointing out three different areas of the site that are going to stick with you on any page that you're viewing, and that includes the header at the top, the footer at the bottom, and the sidebar on the right side. Starting with the header, you first have the library logo. Now you can click that library logo at any time to go back to the homepage. Then at the top, you have some information and buttons, and that includes today's hours. If you click locations and hours, you'll get a little drop-down menu that allows you to see more information, including contact info for each of the different locations. And you can just click that button to close that once you're done looking. If you have frequently asked questions, there's a How Do I page that you can go to. And then you can also click the green My Account button to go to log into your library account. Underneath that, you have the main menu. And the main menu is got 5 basic categories. And if you hover over them, you'll get expanded information that has links to just about everything that's on the site. Under books and more, you have information about getting library cards and using your library card. You've got information about requests and recommendation for titles and different ways to find things in the system. And that does include a link for the download and stream platforms like Hoopla and Overdrive/Libby. The second menu category has information about events. We'll take a look at the calendar here in just a little bit. Research and Learn has listings of information, such as platforms that the library makes available for you to log in and do different kinds of research and learning activities, community information, and then information about specific topics as well. Services has information about services for specific age groups, such as children. And then at the library covers things like technology and room reservations and other services that you can get on the premises. And then More to Discover has information about interesting collections of things you can borrow or do at the library, including the Library of Things, the Culture Passes, and the Seed Library. The last menu section is About, and that has basic information about the library as an organization, has different ways you can stay contacted, and then some different options for supporting the work that the library is doing. Underneath that, you have a red search bar, and that's going to be a dual function search bar. By default, if you type something in, it will search the library's catalog and open that in a new window for searching for that title. You can also switch the radio button over here to website, and that will search information that's located on the website. So if you type in keywords, you'll find information from any of the pages or the calendar. So that's the first sort of element that's consistent, is that header. If you scroll down to the bottom of any page, you'll also see another consistent element called the footer. And that's this gray bar at the bottom that has information about how you can sign up for updates, follow the library on social media, some of those important organizational links, a link to the Contact Us page, and then also a Google Translate widget. If you would like to see the website automatically translated into another language, you can click that, select the language, and that will automatically update using that Google tool. So that's the footer. As I'm scrolling up and down the page, you may also notice that there's some elements that are sticking to the screen on the right, and that's what we call a sidebar. The first thing there is tutorials. That loads a tutorial library where you can find information about using some of the services that the library makes available to you. The green button will launch a chat window if you'd like to do live chat. And then the blue circle at the bottom is a back to top button, and that'll take you back to the very top of whatever page you're on, all the way up to the header. So those are some of the elements that are consistent no matter where you go. Next, I want to take a look at the features on the homepage. The first thing you'll notice here is a row of what we call quick links. And these are popular services, things that people look for pretty frequently. And so just gives you kind of a shortcut to get to some of those areas, including the list of download and stream platforms, information about getting a card, the Library of Things, mobile printing, and research tools. And we'll take a look at a couple of those here in just a bit. Scrolling further down the page, you have some columns here. The Leftmost columns include what we call feature blocks, and those are just different things the library is promoting or doing, sort of at any given time. And so right now it includes information about the new location, curbside pickup, the bookmobile, and the 150th anniversary. Over on the right, you have a list of upcoming events, and this is connected directly to the library's calendar. And so when you hover, you'll be able to see more information about that event open up on one side of the screen. You can also click View More to look at the rest of the upcoming events. Going a little bit further down, there's what we call a book river. And the two on the homepage are for popular fiction and popular nonfiction. And these are curated recommendations from the library staff. And you can use the arrows to kind of navigate through each list. If you hover, you'll see a summary of the book. And if you click, it will open a search for that book in the library's catalog. So you can see where it is or put it on hold, for example. Underneath each of those, there's also a View All button that will take you to similar kinds of recommendations that the library has made. And so those are all the different things you can get to from the homepage. I do want to take a look at a couple of specific areas that are things that you'll likely want to check out at some point. And that includes, for initially, the list of download and stream platforms. And that's going to give you a list of all of the different places that you can go to download and stream movies or books or audiobooks to one of your devices. The library has several different platforms, and they're all listed here with a little description. Most of these you can just click to go directly there. For Overdrive and Libby, there's an additional detail page that has some information about downloading magazines specifically for this particular platform. So there's a little bit of extra information on using this particular source. Another thing I want to point out about this page is that this is a setup of page that you'll see pretty frequently throughout the system. And that's a series of informational cards and links on the right, and then a filter on the left. The filter is something you can close if you would like, just by clicking the word filters and click to open again. And this shows you different topics that are available for resources at the library, in this case, digital resources. And so right now we're looking specifically at the download and stream, but there are a lot of other categories as well. And so if you want to get a list of all of those things that the library has available for you to access using your library card, you can go to Research and Learn, Online Research Tools. You can also get there from a button on the homepage in that quick link bar. And this is that page with everything shown. And so we don't have any of our filters selected, and we can see there's a lot more resources here. And so if I was looking specifically for, say, business and consumer information, I could check those here in this filter. We also have a category set for what age group, if it's, children's information specifically, or, for teens and students. And so in this case, these are the different business and consumer resources that are available. And so you can click to access those. And in most cases, again, log in with your library card. I do want to point out that the library does have a handful of resources that you do have to be on site to use. And so those are the ones that say in library only. As I said, this is a sort of page that you'll see throughout the system, just kind of doing different things. Another example of that would be the under services, we have Library of Things. And we don't have really enough individual listings here to have a filter, but you do have these little informational cards. And when you go to click check it out, that's going to open the library's catalog where you'll be able to see all of the different sorts of items that they have. And you can see that they just have tons and tons of different games that you can borrow. And so there are several different sort of collection areas where you can see a list of all of those things in the catalog. Another thing that I do want to point out that you can get to from the homepage is mobile printing. So if you have something that you would like to print, there's information about how that works. You can download an app to upload your prints, or you have some other options for uploading those listed here as well. There are a few different forms located throughout the site. For example, the librarian picks service is a personal recommendation service where you can ask for recommendations based on things that you like, and that includes books and DVDs as well. And there are a few other examples of forms like this across the site where you can put in information and that'll send to the library so they can get back to you with more info. And there's also at the bottom a contact us form. And so you can just kind of reach out and ask us, questions based on, specific topics. The other forms that are on the site that maybe have more specific purposes, usually for some kind of request or recommendation, are listed out here so you can see the different types of things you can request as well as put in those general comments. And then don't forget, you can also chat using the green button on the side or look at some of the places where the location and hours information is to find other contact info. That contact info is listed up in the header if you click locations and hours. It's also, if you go to about, there is a locations and hours page where you can see the different locations of the library. And so that includes their address, phone number, their hours. And then each also has a page with more information, including a map and a list of events at that location. I'll also point out that this also includes information about the bookmobile and the library location that is currently underway. Right now, that doesn't have branch information. It's more about the project itself, including ways to support it, and a gallery of some of the architect renderings. And so this is something you kind of follow the progress along with the website. So there's much more to discover on the website, and I do hope you take the opportunity to kind of look around and see some of the different information that's available. The last thing I do want to mention is the calendar. You can get to the calendar from the events menu. If you're seeing an upcoming events list, which you'll see on several pages, you can also click view more. And I do want to point out that this particular part of the website, the calendar, is something that you're used to. This is the calendar that the library's had for a while. And don't forget that also relates to the room reservations once that service is available again. So these functions are not new. It's the same calendar that you're used to looking at. It's simply been restyled to go along with the new website theme. And there are a few new features that are being used as well. But we still, of course, have the upcoming events list. You've still got the filters so you can search by age group or location. Each page, you can click the title and go to the detail page for that particular event. And in some cases, you may be able to register for the event in advance. And then you also have a similar view on the month calendar with just events for this month. And of course, you can navigate around month to month if you like as well. And then there's a week and a day calendar view too. So those, again, those functions are not new to the library. It's part of the same calendar, but in this case, it's been updated to go along with having the website as well. And so do hope you take an opportunity to kind of look around and learn about some of the awesome things that the library is doing and promoting with their new website. Thank you.